Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Selling Gods video. In today's video, I'm going to show you a really fun team for the Fallen Shadow Spire that keeps that buff going for an unlimited amount of time, right? That buff for killing more consecutively does never fall off, and it's not a rally team, right? This team actually caught me off guard, and I'm really surprised and pleasantly surprised that it does so good. It actually does more damage than my rally team that I have available, so let me show you what team I'm talking about. Now, before I jump into the video, as always, I do want to mention that if you want to support me as a content creator and get some free stuff while you're at it, you can use code OddOne that you see over there at the top with capital O's to support. There's going to be a link in the description or pinned comment of the video where it takes you to a support the creator page. You put code OddOne, you log into the account, select whatever account you want to support me with, and then that's the account that's going to get some instant rewards. And then after you hit level 100, you're going to get yourself, or up to level 100, you're going to get more Worm Arrow, gold, and actually even a Healer Light die. So apart from the fact that everybody can do that and get it, even if you're a spender or not, if you do decide to spend, which I never encourage people to do, I get like 2% out of, what you spend on. That's kind of like their way of supporting the content creator with the revenue share. So if you do support, even if you don't spend, I really appreciate it. Thank you. But let me show you the team that I'm talking about because, well, it's actually a Iceblast team, right? I just threw my Iceblast team in there. I said, you know what? Let me just randomly try it, because the reality is with the other team that I showed previously, that's a rally team, it's really difficult to be able to do damage without having Telendor. He's kind of like a cheat code with the amount of hits that he does on the ultimate, and it was a bit more difficult. Then I'm not gonna lie, I also played a little bit with my Shadow team, right? With the Shadow team, again, I could do it, but I have a Zul Inspire 2 with his exclusive. I have an Inspire for what's the name, Aspalta, so definitely not relatable at all. Well, this one that I'm going to show you, even though you see in Inspire 5 Zorak inspired to Sheena, you completely do not need them. Now, the reason why this team is so good is because of the fact that you kind of, it kind of seems like you would need AoE, but not really, right? Because the way that they come, especially because of the way that they spawn, your goal is to kind of kill the ones that do come out as soon as possible. So if you have AoE, can work, but maybe as you go further, the damage that you do is not going to be as high, but let me run the team in the meantime. So the reality is, unless, a certain time passes, you see barely any of them spawns. The faster you kill them, the faster a new one spawns. So for example, one dead, boom, another one spawns, right? You kill this one, another one comes, another. So you kind of get the gist. The way to be able to push this to the maximum, to try and do as much damage as possible, is to try and kill the ones coming out as soon as possible. Now, obviously, it depends on your account. Depends if you have some, fully Inspired 5 teams, Inspired 5 damage dealers and whatnot. And you know what? It's obviously still work in progress. I'm still going to be looking around, testing stuff, because there might be some other things that we need in the future. We might need more damage and whatnot. But as of now, at least for the difficulty 2, up until difficulty 3 opens, which I think it's like day 13, it's mentioned somewhere in the game, this team does a great job. Because why does the Iceblast do so well is because they have strong hitting hits that can happen like every single second, right? It's not like their best damage comes from an ultimate and, stacking up stuff like something like, a wild team, or, Thunderbolt again would not benefit as well, because Thunderbolt's more AoE, as you would have to have the lightning chain bounce. And if it's only one spawning, it's not quite the way. The reason why, like, for example, Rally is the best over there is because of the fact that they can do so much damage and they can rotate so much with their ultimates because of Lorenthal's ultimate plus a Puppeteer. They pretty much every 10-12 seconds they do an ultimate, right, for Rally teams. However, the way that Iceblast works and their whole kit, it works so good because of the fact that they are all based off of their, having ice crystals. Every time they have ice crystals, guess what they do? Battle skill. I mean, look at Beldel. You can see over here Beldel. She does that ultimate non-stop. Oh, sorry, the battle skill non-stop. She never stops. She just keeps doing it. As long as you have the timings well enough, where you give ice crystals with Sheena often, where you put ice crystals with Zorak. Ideally, if you had the highest attack on Beldel as well, she would also be having ice crystal generated from Bledin. I currently don't have enough because my Zorak is obviously Inspired 5, so he's gonna get a lot more attack. But you see why this one works so good, right? Beldel never stops. This is the first time that she didn't do, you saw. The first time she didn't actually do a battle skills because she ran out of those ice crystals, but guess what? We're going again, right? We're going again, just she keeps, I mean, you can see she just one-shots it, right? She just battle skill that, battle skill that, battle skill that. It's like, you know, what else do you want? Now, obviously I just had fun and threw all the Ice Blast people in here, but maybe there's a different way to try and push Beldel's damage even more if you get to the point where you don't quite one-shot stuff, right? It's hard difficulties unlock, if the gear's not good enough, maybe there's gonna be, you know, there might be something, or there might be a reason to actually drop one of the DPS, right? One of the Ice Blast people, drop them and bring a healer in there. That's somebody that does healing over time that can give us, not only could give us what's it called, healing, but it can also give us shields with a passive, so you can pull lots of damage. But look at this, 111 kills, right? Once we started, we never stopped. 112 kills, 2,311 damage is just, you know, what more do you want? The maximum, or like the top damage, is 900 that you need for the maximum rewards. Obviously, if you're trying to compete for the rankings, I guess I'm not just gonna save it for now because I might keep testing and having fun. But obviously there's like some weekly rankings. If you go out, you're gonna see over here, right, highest ranking, you're gonna see that the top damages, if you click over here, I mean, good luck hitting 22,000, right? You're supposed to have a really strong account, and like I said, Rally's the best. You see, look at this, Inspire 5, Inspire 5, Inspire 5, Inspire 5. It's kind of hard to compete with that. Plus there's the Gladius with the premium artifact, plus obviously Telandor's gonna have his premium artifact, so you know, it's kind of hard. But if you're trying to do the best for yourself, right, and try and compete at least with, if you're on a lower server, right, and trying to get, the reality is, you need to hit top 30, I think, right, top 30 in order to get some extra. I don't see myself doing 7,000, right, because again, most of them have strong rally teams. I personally do not have Gladius. Without Gladius, I think it's impossible to jump over there, honestly. And same thing, without at least Telandor plus his exclusive artifact, you know, really tough. But this team, like I said, the way that you can try and min-max it, and the way that maybe I would try and push it more, is try and bring somebody that's from this pairing, right? The devitalization, hope I said it right. That's either ice or poison. So if we go ahead and look, for example, ice or poison, who does healing, right? Let's have a look at this. Who does healing? And preferably would be somebody that does healing over time, but also has a passive that can put shield. So for example, Garion could be a good example, right? Garion puts the Nexus, does healing over time. Then he has healing over here, depending on how you place them, that could work. Another one that could work could be Ogak, right? Has same thing, has over here this one. Then Fenja could be another good healer. The reality is, if you want to try and push this, that's what I would suggest, right? Maybe that's what I'm going to try. Maybe I'm just going to drop a Bledden and try and bring somebody else. I mean, the thing is like this. Ideally, you'd prefer to have somebody from the ice element, right? So maybe Fenja would be the best option. So she does the double, even though it's not triple, it's double healing. Because you want somebody of the same pairing, so when you proc the Puppeteer set, right, you get that for the healer as well. And like, let's say, for example, I swap Bledden, bring in Fenja, give her the Puppeteer. What you want to give on her is 100% this one. Give the enhanced protection, every second healing cast grants a shield, and then I would place, you know, I would put a devout prayer piece, either a, you know, a chestplate or a glove, so that every second healing, this one's gonna proc and give us more damage. So the way that you would do that is you would remove everybody and then start placing, what's her name, Beldel first, and then everybody else. That way, she will always focus the battle skill healing as well on what's her name, Beldel. But let me just show you the team that I am actually using currently. These are the timings. So I put 18 seconds for all of them apart from Sheena. Sheena, I let her go as often as possible. The reason for that is, one, she gives a ton of ice crystals every time she does her ultimate, and two, she's the one that lands Witch's Remains. She's better at still having Witch's Remains instead of, like, you know, a Bledden or a Nadia, even though we had epics in there. And the reason for that is she keeps hitting, right? Those things keep hitting. Somebody dies, hits the next one. Somebody dies, hits the next one. So she would more consistently keep that, you know, should more consistently keep that defense penalty on several targets than anybody else. As you know, if they're not spawned with somebody else, you cannot hit more of them. So definitely keep that in mind. Then I kind of had like Sheena go whenever she's ready. Beldel, same thing at 12. Then I put Zorak at 11.8. Then I put at 14 for Nadia, just a little bit later. And then kind of like for the reason of hoping I'm going to have more attack in the future on Beldel, I put Bledden to go at 18. So that while, you know, the ice crystals get used from what Sheena generates and from Zorak generates, as Beldel gets to the point where she stops doing battle skills, Bledden comes in and gives another you know, 2 stacks of ice crystal. That's obviously, you know, might be tricky to do that, but I'm quite sure if I got better pieces of gear. So for example, let's say if I had a bloodshed mark on her, I might give her more attack. Currently it's on Zorak. So if I have a bloodshed mark, that could help me if I had more attack from all the other stuff. Plus you can tweak that with talents to make sure that she has the highest attack. You could pretty much do what I just said. But when we look at the builds and talents, I guess I'm just gonna quickly go through them. So these are the talents for Beldel, arguably the best ones. I don't think there's any better option for her. No talents on the epics, honestly, because I didn't need them currently, so we're just fine. This is what I have on Zorak. 100% want to get the condensing ice with the freeze, as he's gonna be getting a ton of overflowing ice crystals, so you want them to do damage. And then this is the best one for Sheena. Even though in this fight, honestly, she doesn't do as much damage. She cannot do this battle skill too often for this fight, because by the time they hit, because she casts too much, they just die. So that's why I decided to not get her in a damage build, but give her a Emissary's Whisper. So every time she lands a debuff, she gives more more damage to your allies. And then, like I said, which remains, plus kind of give her an accuracy chest plate for Strike Them Prepared, just to, you know, make her do a bit of damage. Then Zorak is gonna be in a Downpipe Organ, 3-piece Forbidden Aegis, and then a Puppeteer, Bloodshed Mark, and then a Strike Them Prepared. As much attack as possible, so he can give more attack to everybody else. And in the future, when I'm gonna get, you know, a Bloodshed Mark on Beldel, that's gonna help Beldel as well. Currently, because Beldel is now ranged, she does not benefit, as far as I'm aware, from the Downpipe Organ buff. So definitely keep that in mind. Then I have on Bledin, like I gave it a Silver Star Horseshoe, then a 3-piece Puppeteer set, and then just try and give him some damage. And then for Nadia, I kind of gave her a damage build again, 3-piece Forbidden Aegis with a Manticore, right? This one just improves the battle skill. And then Beldel has Blooms of Prina, because, well, I don't have an exclusive artifact. If I did have an exclusive artifact, I would maybe give Nadia the Blooms of Prina instead. But Beldel has the Fearless Challenge piece that I brought over from the previous season, then 2 pieces of Forbidden Aegis, and then a really, really bad Crude Ray Glove in Strike Them Prepared. But you know what? Makes me do more damage, so it's helpful. But that pretty much is it. Let me just show you the elemental affinities as well, so you see what I have. I have the damage maxed out, right? The 10% more from doing the 5 one. But honestly, you don't need this. Like, from what I've seen, I still keep the stacks up. They still never fall off. As soon as I start killing the first one, I keep killing them. So it just, you know, depends how much more you kill, how much damage more you do, based on that, I guess. But you know what? If you just want to do 900, it should be easy. Just, if you have an Ice Blast team for Vortex, trust me, throw that team in there and you're gonna do 900 damage pretty easy. That's, you know, at least that's what I did for my testing. But that pretty much is the team for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I was, you know, I was really excited and happy to see that this one worked. I don't know why I didn't think of it in the first place to try instead of Rally, but I tested now, and like I said, it does better than my normal Rally team. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed and like this video. You know, like it if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, support using code OddOne, the code that you see at the top. And I guess I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.